चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरुवे नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। So today we are going to discuss this topic, the science of soul, the science of Atma. Soul in Sanskrit is called as Atma. So this is the basic teaching of Bhagavad Gita. The ABCD of Bhagavad Gita is this one. The ABCD of spiritual life is this concept of soul. Who am I? Okay. So today we will discuss these few topics. I am a matter or I am a spirit. 6 changes of the living body. Scientific proofs for the existence of anti-material personality, the soul. Mechanism of reincarnation, and the difference between soul and God. And then the benefits, practical benefits of the knowledge of soul in everyday life. So these are some of the topics. So the first topic, I am a matter or I am a spirit? So if I ask you this question, who are you? What will be your answer? Okay, soul is the body is the matter. Okay. In general, who are you? Nobody. But you are somebody. Okay, your name. So, madam, so what's your name, Mataji? Jyoti. Okay. You tell your name. I am Jyoti. I am so and so. What else? What else can be the probable answer? If I ask you the question, who are you?
What I do by profession.
Profession, okay. An artist or I'm an engineer. Okay, yeah. I am an Indian, a Bharatiya, or I am a nationality, human being. So these are generally the answers which we have for this question, who am I? But if you carefully observe, all these identities keep changing. Can the nationality change? Can you change your name? You can take an affidavit and you can change your name, right? So you can change your nationality, you can change your name, you can change your place, you can change your home, you can change your profession. Now, by the way, did you have a name when you were born? So when we were born, we had no identity. And identity was given. Okay, you are so and so, your name, Namakarana. So then we got our identity. So all these identities keep changing. But the feeling of I and mine doesn't change. Okay, so that unchangeable thing is the real me. How can I be something changeable? If something is changing but my identity is not changing, then that changing thing is not me. I am something who is permanent in this body. So Krishna says that in Bhagavad Gita. Okay, so before going to Bhagavad Gita, let's analyze a scientist's experiment. So Dr. Harry Monson is a professor in Illinois College of Medicine, professor of anatomy. He analyzed that a human body, average human body weighing about 60 pounds has got 5 pounds of calcium, 1.5 pounds phosphate, 9 ounces of potassium, 6 ounces of sulfur, sodium, magnesium, and less than an ounce each of iron, copper, iodine, and these are the chemical constituents of this body. Okay, and he went to a chemist and asked, can you please tell me what is the cost of this? And he said that it is 110 rupees. Now if I tell you, give me a kidney, then transplantation, because lakhs of rupees, it is not 110 rupees, right? So the body is just worth, of course, after we die, sattmele mannagata ashte, and there is no value to this body. But as long as we are living, it is invaluable in one sense, right? So let me ask you a question. So you are driving in a car, a very costly Rolls-Royce car, imagine you have it. So and you are sitting on the side seat and your friend is driving. And it's going at high speed, Bangalore, Mysore expressway. And somehow it was a rainy day, so road was slippery, and the car slipped, went out of the road, and hit a big tree, and there's big damage, and you also got some scratches, and you're wounded. Somehow you came out, and you see your friend who is unconscious and is bleeding profusely. So here is a car worth 1 crore or more, and here is a body worth 110 rupees. So what will you do? Will you take the car to the garage first and repair it, or will you take your friend to the hospital first? Yes? You will take the friend to the hospital, but that's the standard answer any human being, sensible person will give. Because the Rolls Royce can be repaired later, or you can earn more money and get a new car, but once the life leaves the body, you cannot get it back, isn't it? Prana hodmele vapas tarakagala. So the prana is most important. So this is not a real identity. These chemicals are not our real identity. So here is, suppose there is a beauty queen, a living beauty queen and the dead. There is no feelings, no thinking, no desires, no movement, and no consciousness. As long as a person is living, there are so many fans, but when a person dies, there is no more attraction. Nobody wants to take a selfie. Right? The soul is gone. So this is explained in Bhagavad Gita. Last time I discussed this. Dehinosmi nyata dehe kaumaram yavanam jara. Right? Kaumaram yavanam jara tata dehantara prapti dhiras tatra muyati. Right? So for the soul, there is neither birth nor death at any time. Right? There is no birth, there is no death. He has not come into being, does not come into being, and will not come into being. Means what? He was existing before, he is existing now, and he will continue to exist in the future as well. So he is Shashvata. Ajo nityaha shashvatoyam purano na hanyate hanyamane sharire. So he is Aja. Aja means unborn. Nityaha means eternal. Shashvato ayam puranam. He is oldest Purana. Na hanyate hanyamane sharire. When the body dies, the soul continues to live. Soul never dies. Yeah. Ajaha nitya shashvataha ayam puranaha na hanyate hanyamane sharire. He is not slain when the body is slain. So Bhagavad Gita 2.20. Actually Bhagavad Gita 2.11 onwards till 2.30 is Atma Jnana. Second chapter 11th shloka to 30th shloka. You see here the soul is going. I'll show it again like this. The spirit soul is going from one body to another body. The soul remains the same, but the body is changing. Right? So the body is matter, soul is spirit. The body is not conscious, but the soul is conscious. The body changes, soul does not change. The body is temporary, soul is eternal. So these are the differences between body and the soul. Body is dead, soul is alive. Actually, even now the body is dead. Just like fan, it is dead, right? It is jada vastu. When I press the button, it starts moving. When electricity flows through that, it starts moving. Similarly, body is always dead. Only when soul energizes the body starts functioning. I speak, I hear, I listen, I do different activities. So that is the difference between body and soul. Our situation is something like this. You are not the body you see in the mirror. You are here. You are the driver of the body. You are not this body. Body is a machine. Yantra rudhani maya. Krishna says this body is given by Maya Shakti. Maya means material Prakriti. Has given this body for the soul to work with. This body is the tool given to the soul. Just like for example, we are comfortable staying on land, and if you want to go into the water, you take a different dress, right? Suppose you want to go to space, you wear space suit and go there. Similarly, the soul actually belongs to Vaikunta. We are coming from there. Allide namma mane. Ili bande sumane. Aa mane yavudu? Allide namma mane andre, that is Vaikunta. That is my spiritual world. From there we came here. But when we come here, we need a different body to function here. So that's why this body made of kapha, pitta, vayu, mamsa, mole, that is given to us, so that the soul can function in this world. So you are the real Atma. Of course, this is a representation, it's not exactly like this. Just to make us understand, a mechanical picture of the body and the soul is given here. So the soul is seeing through the eyes. Eyes are like the cameras. Do the ears hear? Can just the ears hear? If you take out the ear, can the eyes see? Then who is seeing? Yes, soul is seeing. Eye is an instrument. Like suppose you have a mobile, you have a camera, then you keep the camera like this, you see through the camera. I see through the camera. Similarly, eyes are like a camera for the soul, and the soul is seeing through the eyes, soul is hearing through the ears, soul is speaking through the mouth. Right? The body is an instrument for the soul. So he is working. Legs are like the wheels and the engine is the stomach. And in the control room, Paramatma is also standing. Atma and Paramatma are next to each other. And Paramatma is guiding the soul. Okay, go here, go there, don't do this. This is not good for you. So, Upadrashta, Anumanta, Bharta, Bhokta, Maheshwara, Paramatma iti chapyukto dehesmin Purusha Paraha. He is a super soul within the body. So, when you see from material point of view, we see the world like this. Only the body. Your body is made of matter. We are no more than chemical bundle. And everything is finished at the time of death. But when you feel from Gita's point of view, actually we are not the material body of flesh and bones, we are spirit, Atma. And when we see others, we don't see just the body, we see the Atma inside the body. We are spirit soul engaged in the material body. So when we see a cow, we see that, oh, this jiva is there in the body of a cow now because of its past karma. Okay, somebody has got an animal body like a dog's body. It means that the soul in this body has done certain karma by which it has got a dog's life. Somebody has got a bird's life. Maybe this soul wanted to fly like a bird. So because of his desire to fly like a bird, he got the body of a bird, like that. So we'll discuss that, how we get different bodies, on what basis. We do not die when the material body stops functioning. When the body dies, the soul transmigrates to another body. Like for example, you are staying in a home, and if the home becomes very old, and if it is the ceiling is falling, and then the pipes and the bathrooms and everything is like leaking, what do? Shift. And which home we will shift? On what basis? You will see your bank balance, kitna hai, and how much loan I can get or whatever. As per your capacity, you shift to a new place. Similarly, as per the karma which we have earned in this life, punya or papa. If you have earned punya, then we go to a better body. And if you have earned more papa, then we go to a lower bodies. Right? There are 84 lakh species. Right? Ezukayangada kaddu 84 laksha. ಜೀವರಾಶಿಯನ್ನು ದಾಟಿ ಬಂತು ಈ ಶರೀರ. ನಿಮಗೆಲ್ಲ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಹಾಡು ಗೊತ್ತು. So there are 84 lakh species. How it is categorized? 9 lakh jalaja. 84 lakh categories are given here. Jalaja navalakshani, sthavara laksha vimshati. जलया नवलक्षाणि स्थावर लक्षविंशति रुद्र संख्या कृमिशः. Then Dashalakshani Pakshinam. Jaljanavlakshani Stavarlakshmi Krimisharudra Sankhya Trimshalakshani Pashavaha. Four lakhs Manavaha. This 24 total is 84 lakhs. This is given in one of the Puranas. So this is how it is categorized. Right? 9 lakhs Jalaja means aquatics. 20 lakhs Thavara means trees. 11 lakh Krimis means insects. 10 lakh Pakshi means flying birds. 30 lakhs Pashus, animals, four-legged animals. And then 4 lakh species of Manavas. You may say humans is one species. No, based on the consciousness, there are different categories also. Right? So the 4 lakhs, this is how 84 lakh species are categorized, and after crossing all this, finally we have got a human life. ಏಸು ಕಾಯಂಗಳ ಕಳೆದು 84 ಲಕ್ಷ ಜೀವರಾಶಿಯನ್ನು ದಾಟಿ ಬಂತು ಈ ಶರೀರ. ಈ ಶರೀರದಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದು ತಾನು ತನ್ನದು ಅಂತ ಜಗಳಾಡೋದು ಬದಲು ಆತ್ಮ ಸಾಕ್ಷಾತ್ಕಾರದ ದಾರಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ನಡಿಬೇಕು. ವಿ ಶುಡ್ ವಾಕ್ ಆನ್ ದ ಪಾತ್ ಆಫ್ ಸೆಲ್ಫ್ ರಿಯಲೈಸೇಷನ್. So this is how we have got a human life, which is very rare. So if you compare human body to a car, like headlight is like the eyes, sound, horning is like the speaking, energy, the heart and the engine, and the movements of the body, legs and the wheels, right? So the car cannot budge an inch without the driver. Similarly, the body is termed dead without the presence of the soul. Only when the driver presses the button, the car starts moving. Nowadays we have button cars. It starts moving. Similarly, when the soul presses the button of the body, it starts functioning. It's called birth. When it stops functioning, switch off the engine, that's called death. Right? Just as the bird is trapped in the cage, the soul is trapped in the body made up of 5 elements of Panchamahabhuta: earth, water, fire, air and ether. So the body is like a jail for the soul right now. We are entrapped in this. Not knowing the real identity as the soul, the people spend all their life in polishing the cage, pampering the body without feeding the soul. See, here this lady is there. She has got a parrot and the cage. Every day she is cleaning the cage, it's a golden cage. And one day the parrot stopped speaking. Then she realized, oh, I forgot to feed fruits to the bird. Similarly, we are taking care of the body all our life without feeding the soul. Can you say how? What are we doing for the body throughout the day? Yeah? Cleaning, okay, we take bath, then exercise, eating, then drooling, okay, grooming, then resting. So we do so many activities for the body throughout the day, but what are we doing for the soul? Right? How much time are you spending to nourish the soul? So that's what we have to ask. Because of lack of nourishment of the soul nowadays, especially nowadays in the modern world, because people are not focusing on the soul, that's why there is so much of mental problems, as I discussed last time, depression, stress, anxiety and all the other things. And hopefully the golden age is coming with the event which happened on 22nd, the spiritual awakening is happening everywhere. Hopefully people will start focusing on the self by turning towards Lord Rama, Lord Krishna. Okay. So that was about who am I. Now let us see the 6 changes of the living body. So what is the difference between the living and the dead? This is an absolute definition for living and dead. For example, some people say man is just a powerful computer, just very advanced computer. Let's see. Here there is a event happening and a camera is recording and the judge is watching. What is the difference between both camera recording and the judge is watching?
Camera is just recording, the judge has a reaction.
Reactions, yes. Judges can feel the emotions, but camera can just record the sound and video. Like there is a difference between the camera watching me and all of you hearing me, isn't it? There is a great difference. So there is no experience, there is no emotions, and there is no consciousness. But here there is experience, emotions, and there is consciousness. And camera cannot say it is a good movie or a bad movie, but judges can say. Yeah, they are able to judge. Can somebody read this? Yeah, the first person. Yeah.
Swamiji, I think our body is just a complex machine that gets worn out and crashes. Why should we bother about some soul or any God?
So this person asked Swamiji, Srila Prabhupada, and what Swamiji replied?
Does your car or computer grow? Do you have a male and female car that can unite and produce a baby car? A living body undergoes 6 changes, whereas matter just changes. It is the soul that makes living body alive.
Yes. Can matter reproduce? No. Like can two pens come together and produce a third pen? No. Can two cars, Swamiji is asking that, can two cars come and produce a baby car? Nano car? Right? It's not possible. But God has made a system by which life can produce another life. Life can produce life. There is no other way. In fact, you will see trees are also living. The trees produce another life. They produce seeds which can give birth to another tree. So that is the soul. So some people neglect the concept of soul, which is very essential. So that's what somebody is making the point here. A living body undergoes 6 changes while matter dwindles. Like for example, this pen is created and as soon as created it starts dwindling and one day you have to throw it. But the body, baby grows and then dwindles. So matter doesn't grow, body grows. Yeah, so reproduction is also another aspect of living beings. Living body has consciousness, thinking, feeling and willing, while matter has no consciousness. And even if you beat the table, no response, because it's no consciousness. Right? So the 6 changes are like this. Birth. After birth there is growth, like the baby is born, he is playing, he is growing. So then maintenance, he grows up to 18, then after that he is maintaining himself. Then he gets married, then there is byproducts, produces children, then dwindling becomes old, and finally death. In this way, the journey of the living being is there. After death, again birth. Punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam, punarapi janani jatare shayanam. Iha samsare bahudustare, kripaya pare pahe murare, bhaja govindam. Right? So that's Bhaja Govindam Stotra. Talks about this. Similarly, baby is born, grows, maintains, produces byproducts, then dwindles and dies. Again is born again. So this I told last time also, I guess. So gross body is made up of Panchamahabhuta. Bhumi, Apaha, Analo, Vayu, Kham. Then Manabuddhi Ahankara is a subtle body. Right? You remember the chariot analogy which we did last time? So Manabuddhi Ahankara. And inside this there is Atma, which is Satchidananda. Sat, Chit and Ananda, eternity, knowledge and bliss. So these are the 3 layers. So this is a real me. I am here. And these 2 are just coverings on me. Okay? The soul is the real me. Okay. Now let me just add one more point here. When we die, what happens is, this elements of earth, water, fire, air and ether, they are disintegrated. And what goes to the next body is this one, Satchidananda Atma and Mana Buddhi Ahankara. This goes to the next body. So Atma and Sukshma Sharira is carried to the next life, whereas the gross body deteriorates here. Okay. That's how some people can remember their past life, because their impressions of the past life are there with them still. We will see some examples of past life memories. Let's see some 5 scientific proofs. First is common sense, Samanya Gyan. Huh? When somebody dies, what do we say? Yaradru sattagi ಏನು ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ ನಾವು? Rest in peace. Okay. What rest in peace? Our body is already resting in peace. May the soul rest in peace. Okay. Or we say he has passed away. He or she has passed away. और तीर होद्रू वो गुजर गए हैं. कौन गुजर गया? All the molecules before death and after death are same only, but one atom has gone, that is Atma. Atma has gone from this body to another body, so that is called death. The soul has passed away. Now here, consciousness. There is a camera recording a sight, and there is a couple seeing the sight. The couple can feel, oh, this is very happy sight, very pleasurable sight, but the camera cannot. So consciousness is the symptom of soul. Now, do animals have consciousness? Yes. Do plants have consciousness? Yes. How can you say plants have consciousness? Okay.
They feel pain.
They feel pain. How can you? Okay, they die when they don't get food. Okay. Have you seen Touch Me Not? That's one example of consciousness. You touch it, it withdraws. And there are other plants like pitcher plant and other. And even sunflower also bends toward the sun. So that's symptom of consciousness. Now here is something interesting. What is this? Near-death experience. And near-death experience and out-of-body experience. This is some interesting research which was done. About 11% to 14% of the average American population who are mentally and physically healthy have had out-of-body experience. It's from a medical journal of current problems in pediatrics. So what happens is, in out-of-body experience, a person is in a hospital or is sleeping, and he has an experience of coming out of the body and watching his own body, and roaming around the home or going outside and coming back into the same body. So this is called out-of-body experience. Okay, and 11% to 14% have had such experience in America. Okay. Enough research in near-death experience with impeccable scientific credentials also has been done. What is near-death experience? When a person is about to die, he has some strange experience, sometimes positive experience, sometimes very scary experience. So positive experience is something like he is going through a white tunnel, bright tunnel, where there is peace and very calm atmosphere, and he goes and meets his ancestors and comes back. That's near-death experience. Positive experience. And scary experiences, he sees some very ghastly people coming, some dogs coming, putting a noose on him and pulling him away. Right? Who are those people? Yeah? Yes. Yamadutas. Yamadutas. You have heard the story of Ajamila? Ajamila. It comes in Bhagavata Purana. So there is a classic story of near-death experience. It's there in Puranas, written billions of years ago. Ajamila is about to die because he was sinful. Yamadutas came to take him. But one good thing he did was he chanted the name of Narayana. So when he chanted Narayana, Vishnu Dutas came and saved him. Right? Now this is not a Puranic story, it is actually factual. right? So one of our devotees, he had some heart problem and he was admitted to one hospital in Mumbai, and it was a ward where 3-4 patients were there, and next to him there was another patient, and he was on ventilator, he was breathing on ventilator, and suddenly he saw from the window some strange people came like this with long hair, scary teeth, right, and nose. They came from the window. And I looked around, and Prabhuji got scared, and he recognized who are they because he had seen in Bhagavatam the description of coppery eyes and coppery hairs and lot of hairy eyebrows, sharp teeth, and very crooked faces. So they came, Yamudutas, they came to take me. He got scared first. Then he looked at them and then they went to the other patient. And suddenly the other patient started shouting. Then the heartbeats were palpitating and all. And immediately nurse came and tried to put all the whatever, they tried to save him. But somehow they pulled the noose, took the soul away. And through the window they disappeared. This happened about 2 decades ago. He could witness that. Others could not see, only he could see. Because Yamadutas, when they come, we can't see with our eyes because they are in a very sukshma deha, sukshma sharira. So these are factual. And it is said that before Yamadutas come, they send their dogs to find out where is this person, locate the address, and they come. So one of another friends, his brother had an accident and he was bedridden. And he was telling, just 2 days before his death, he was telling, Nai barta ide, odsi. And he was in home. Nai illa alame malko. There's no dogs here, just keep quiet. No, it's coming, dog is coming. Not just once, about 4 or 5 times he said like that. And after 2 days he passed away. Then when I read this Bhagavatam, I could correlate. Oh, this is actually true. These personalities are factual. So Devatas, Asuras, Rakshasas, Kinnaras, Yakshas, Gandharvas, Vidyadharas, they are all not mythological things, they are actually existing. Only thing, we don't have access to them right now. So they are in a very different plane. Bhu Bhuvasvaha, right? In Bhuloka we are there. In Bhuvar Loka, all these Yakshas, Rakshasas, they are all staying there. Vidyadharas, Gandharvas, they stay. Of course, Gandharvas, they stay in Swargaloka also. Bhur Bhuvasvaha. In Swargaloka, all the Apsaras, Gandharvas, Vidyadharas, Devatas, they stay in that plane. And above that, there is other planets. Bhum Bhuvasvaha, Maharloka, Janaloka, Tapoloka, Satyaloka. They are the 7 heavenly upper planets. And below there are 7 more. Atala, Vitala, Sutala, Rasatala, Talatala, Patala. Patala is the bottommost. And below Patala is Naraka. 28 planets are there, Narakas. And each planet has got a specific name and specific punishment which is awarded there. So that is given in Srimad Bhagavatam, Panchama Skanda, last chapter. It's given there. So that's about near-death experience. See, so many books are written on near-death experience, out-of-body experience. How can it be a mythology? Not Indian authors, all foreign authors, they have written so many books. Our Puranas speak about this long ago. Recently these people are writing. So whatever they speak should re-emphasize our faith in the Vedas. That what Vedas are speaking is true. Okay, we don't need validation, but if somebody validates it, that adds credit to the Vedas. There is another research scientist called Ian Stevenson. He has researched about 2000 cases of spontaneous reincarnation memories. Some people claim that I know my past life. They remember their past life. So he went to all those people, interviewed them, interviewed the relatives, went to those places, and thorough research he did and published 2000 cases in his book. All these 2000 are validated to be true, not fake. So it's published. So that's Ian Stevenson. And so many modern authors have written on reincarnation. See, so many books. And Bhagavad Gita was written 5000 years back and talks about this. Bhagavad Purana was also written 5000 years back, which contains the history of millions of years ago, the previous yugas, and that speaks about reincarnation. And have you heard the story of Bharata, Jada Bharata? You have heard Jada Bharata story? He had 3 lives: the life of a king, the life of a deer, he becomes a deer, and then life of Jada Bharata, a Brahmana. So that's spoken in Bhagavad Purana. So, but recently so many books are written. And another is phobias. Some people are fearful of height, some people are fearful of water, some people are fearful of sharp objects. It's because in the previous life they died with, somebody died with water, then drowning in water, then he has fear of water, like that. If somebody was killed by stabbing, he has fear of sharp items. Somebody is shot, he has fear of guns. Right? Another example is twins. Another proof of soul is, see, these 2 people look identical, isn't it? It means what? Their DNA is the same. They both DNA is the same. Because one egg or one zygote splits into 2 and each of them develops into a child. That's called identical twins. There are non-identical twins also, but I am talking about identical twins. Genetically they are same, but still you will see the difference in their behaviors. Somebody likes to be eating sweets, somebody likes hard items, somebody is calm by nature, somebody is little aggressive. Although all the body is same, but the souls are different, because both the souls, they are coming from different backgrounds, different lifetimes. So that's why. So this is another proof of soul. Now here is a video of a pilot who was fighting for America against the Japanese, and he was killed. His aeroplane was shot and he died in 1945 in World War II. He died and he was born again, and he could remember his name of the previous, he could remember the name of his aeroplane model. He knew all the intricacies of flying the aeroplane, and he could recognize his colleagues of the previous who are still alive. He met them. Okay, just see this video for, wait.
They have the same name and boyish good looks. James F. Houston, raised in the Midwest. James M. Leininger, a young boy from the body. Whoa!
There's something in the eyes. It's undeniable.
That's not all we share.
Somehow James Houston's spirit has affected my son, either through reincarnation. I don't know how it happened.
I think the Japanese easiest high.
Initially, what caught my attention was James's extreme fascination with airplanes.
And every night he slept with his G.I. Joe action figures, which he named. That's not all we share.
Somehow James Houston's spirit has
He's a boy.
affected my son, either through reincarnation. I don't know how it happened.
I think the Japanese easiest high.
Initially, what caught my attention was James's extreme fascination with airplanes.
And every night he slept with his G.I. Joe action figures, which he named. Here's some video. While the other kids casually look at the plane, 2-year-old James seems to inspect it. Watch as he checks the underbelly, then climbs inside, donning the headset.
He knows everything about it.
Is that that's not long, that's a drop tank.
Bouncing about the cockpit, James was flying high. That night, their world would change forever.
He started having the nightmares.
She is the mother.
My first indication that there was something wrong. It was a panic-stricken, terrorized screaming.
Over and over again, James had the same
to explain the dream, but he could draw.
On the ships, you see that parachute.
He is drawing the warfield.
Planes are dropping bombs.
He would just be crawling into airplane crash on fire and he can't get out. He laid on his back and kicked up in the swivel. He goes, no, the little man's going like this. He laid on his back and kicked his feet up. The little man's going, ooh, 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 can't get out.
Means the flight is burning, he is trying to get out, not able to get out.
First night we're just going to faint. Big question, what kind of plane? Why did your airplane crash?
My plane was shot down.
Who shot your plane?
He looked at me like I was a little idiot. He said,
The Japanese. I kept thinking, where's he getting this? I was a stay-at-home mom, so I know that there wasn't anything that he was being exposed to.
Not exposed to in this life, but perhaps, just maybe, somebody else was. Decades earlier, James Houston grew up with the same insatiable fascination for airplanes. He became a naval fighter pilot and fought in World War II. March 3rd, 1945, during a mission near Iwo Jima, he took a direct hit. At age 21, was declared missing and presumed dead.
At age 21 he died.
Do you remember the name of your boat? He said, Minatoma.
So then father starts searching. Is it really true? What he is telling is really true. Then he does research.
Launched his battle headed for Iwo Jima in the fight for Lady Long.
it's the biggest naval battle.
He is his colleague in the past life.
From his home in Ohio, he organizes the Natoma Bay reunions.
In the reunion he goes.
I wanted to this book. He asked some questions about, do I know some people? Oh, yeah, I know those people. And so he got very quiet.
It was all real. The people and places James described actually existed. And remember those G.I. Joe dolls that James named? Turns out, 3 men with the same names, first and last, served on the Natoma and were killed in action. James said they greeted him in heaven after his crash.
I always asked him, do you remember what your name was? And he always said James. But his name is James.
Yes, it was a James, all a large shell. He hit him in the engine and then pushed him from and put down.
They showed Leo drawings.
He was right on the lines. I'm sure, in my mind, that he was there.
Leo invited James, now 3, to the reunion.
So the reunion. So this his old friend, colleague is meeting and he recognized him. They're embracing each other. And not only he, there are many others also. About 10, 12 of them of the same battalion, they had come together. So they all had a nice time.
Several pilots even called him by name,
You're Bob Greenwald. I'm serious. He's never met Bob Griffin. No, you never met him before.
and someone else was invited. James Houston's sister, Anne.
And he goes, it's not Anne, it's Annie. She wasn't my little sister. I had an older sister than that. And I said, you did? Who was that? And he goes, Ruth. I mean, Ruth.
Annie is what they called me when I was little, knowing my name and my sister's name, things that my brother did when he was a kid. It's too amazing to describe how he would feel that way, but he has. He considers me his sister.
But does she consider James her brother?
I think it's probably a reincarnation of my brother.
Suzanne Stratford, Fox 8 News.
It's interesting. So like this, he had about 2000 cases of reincarnation proven. Even in India, I can share you a document which has about couple of reincarnation stories which you can read. Okay. So now you may say this reincarnation not just is a Bhagavad Gita philosophy, even other philosophers also believe in it. Like for example, Benjamin Franklin, you might have heard his name. Finding myself to exist in the world, I believe I shall in some shape or other always exist. In John Adams, he says, those souls who revolted against God were placed here to transmigrate through various species of animals, birds and reptiles. Socrates. I am confident that there truly is such a thing as living again and the living spring from the dead. Jatasi hi dhruva mrityu dhruvam janma mritasya cha. Bhagavad Gita shloka hai. So there is Indian story. Shukla Gupta, somewhere in Bihar. She was telling, मेरा नाम शुक्ला नहीं है, मेरा नाम मीना है. शुक्ला मत बुलाओ मुझे. Parents are shocked. And she was telling, मेरा गांव ये नहीं है, मेरा गांव वहाँ पे भटपरा. कोई तो भटपरा बोल के नाम है. She told, take me there. And parents are shocked. Then did some research and found out there is a village called Bhatpara. चलो गाड़ी में जाते हैं. So parents along with this Shukla, they went to the village. So when they went to the village, actually that photo is not coming. She said, follow me, I will take you to the home. So she is taking, they got on the bus stand, she is telling, come follow me. First time she is coming here and she is taking all of them to the home. She takes to the home and when they come to the home, she is able to recognize everyone at home. Right? His mother-in-law, brother-in-law, husband, daughter, and indicated Haridan Chakravarti as her husband. So she is recognizing everyone. And she called the nicknames as well. Now she is 5 years old and her daughter must be somewhere, daughter is 15 years old. Previous life's daughter, but seeing the daughter, she gets tears and she has that affection for her. Now you may say this is a fake story, what is the proof? And they tested, they also could not believe. They said, tell me your favorite dish, she told, they agreed. Then they told, bring your favorite sari. So she went to one locker, opened the locker, many saris were there, she picked one. This is my favorite sari. They said, confirmed. She is our daughter-in-law of the previous life. So these are some scientific proofs for soul's existence, isn't it? Now this is interesting, mechanism of reincarnation. How do we go to the next body? As a person puts on new dresses, giving up old ones, the soul similarly accepts new material bodies, giving up the old and useless ones. Can you repeat this shloka? Vasamsi jirnani yatha vihaya navani grihnati naro parani tatha sharirani vihaya jirnani अन्यानि सम्याति नवानि देहि. Vasa means dress. Vastra. Vasamsi, jirnani means becomes old. And vihaya. Vihaya means give up. When the dress becomes old, we give up. When it's torn, there are some holes in the body, in the cloth, we give it up. And navani grihnati. Right? You accept a new dress. You give up the old dress and accept a new dress. Similarly, tatha, there is an analogy given. Yatha tatha. Yatha naraha vasamsi jirnani vihaya. Navani grihnati. He takes up new dress, gives up the old ones. Tatha dehi means atma. Sharirani jirnani vihaya. When the sharira becomes old, it gives up this body. Right? Dehi gives up this body. And anyani samyati navani he takes up a new body. Right? Like just as Shankaracharya says, Angam galitam phalitam mundam dashanabhinam jatum tundam vruddhoyati gruhatva dandam. This is old age, right? Tadipina manchati asha pindam. He says that the symptoms of old age, at how the teeth are gone, the hairs fall, then the body becomes weak and we need a stick. So at that stage, the soul gives up the body and takes up a new body. So this is called signs of reincarnation. Very easily, Bhagavad Gita is explained. Krishna, see, Bhagavad Gita is a very spiritual book, but if you just tell spiritually, it will not be able to understand. So Krishna in Bhagavad Gita uses ordinary examples to make us understand the spiritual concept. This is one of that. Changing of dress and changing of body. And on what basis are we awarded the next? Okay, this boy is dying, and so this person is dying and getting a new body. On what basis? Kindly repeat this verse. 8.6 Bhagavad Gita. Yam yam vapi smaran bhavam tyajatyante kalevaram tam tam evaiti kaunteya sada tad bhava bhavitaha. Yam yam vapi smaran bhavam. Whatever you remember at the time of death. Ante kalevaram. Kalevaram is body. At the anta of body, whatever you are remembering on the deathbed, tam tam eva iti kaunteya. That body you will attain in the next life. And what do we remember at the time of death? What we have done throughout our life accumulates at the time of death and creates particular impressions in the mind. So that's what we will become. Like see these people, these are just examples given here. Different people developing different kinds of bhava, emotions, feelings. Okay. So according to whatever bhava they are developing in the current life, one gets a next life. For example, take the example of Bharata Maharaj. He went to the forest, he left a kingdom, went to the forest to do tapasya, but unfortunately he got attracted to a baby deer and he started playing with it, cuddling it, always thinking about it. And one day the deer went out of the ashram, he went searching for it, he fell into a ditch. Thinking about the deer, he left his body. So next life he became a deer. So that's the law of last thought. So Krishna talks about this in 8.6. Now if somebody thinks of Krishna at the time of death, he'll go to spiritual world, Vaikuntha. That's why Ante Narayana Smritihi. It is said that we should remember Narayana at the time of death. That's why we should practice remembering Narayana now, so that at the last moment we can remember Narayana. So our next body is awarded based on the desires in the mind and our good and bad karma. Both. Our desires and our deserve, what we deserve. Both are. Like for example, somebody is breaking rules, like stealing money, eating meat, being greedy, killing. So he is falling prey to lust, anger and greed. Right? Then he dwindles down. Like some are eating meat, killing animals. Right? So they become carnivorous animals kind of thing. Because God says, okay, you are struggling so hard to eat meat, okay, become a tiger. You get easy flesh. Right? Somebody wants to sleep hours together. You become a polar bear. What is specialty polar bear? It sleeps for 6 months. Right. Somebody wants to expose the body, you can become a tree. That's how. So human life is like a crossroad. You can choose to do good or choose to do bad. Only human being has got this choice to do this or to do that. And if we rightly utilize our choice, then we can be elevated. Otherwise, there is demotion. So then there are 4 pillars of adharma. Dyutam panam striya sunam yatra dharmas chaturvida. Bhagavatam says this. Dyutam means, sorry, some scenes are very scary, I'm just skipping. This PPT is made by some of our devotees. So meat eating, intoxication, gambling. Nowadays we see online gambling also coming. So that's also sin. Dyutam. Dyutam panam, so drinking. Striya, having illicit affairs, that is striya. And then suna means eating flesh, causing violence to others. These are the 4 pillars of adharma. Right? So it's a very interesting concept. We can speak another lecture on that. Four pillars of dharma and adharma. The 4 pillars of dharma which are broken by certain activities. The 4 pillars of dharma are daya, satya, tapah, saucha. Daya, satyam, tapah, saucham. These are the 4 pillars of dharma. Like if table to stand needs 4 legs. Right? Daya means mercy. Satya means truthfulness. Tapa means austerity. Cleanliness. So these are the 4 pillars of dharma. And how these 4 are broken? By this daya is broken by meat eating, violence. Satya is broken by intoxication. Gambling. Tapa is broken by intoxication. And cleanliness by so this is a concept given in Srimad Bhagavatam. Because your director had told, please add some concepts of Bhagavatam also into your sessions. You're trying to bring some concept. It's coming in first canto, Pratama Skanda. Parikshita Dharma Samvada. As Parikshit Maharaj saw Kali beating a cow and a bull. The bull was Dharma and Parikshit Maharaj tried to protect that Dharma and the cow. So at that time this conversation happened, there this comes. Okay, so by breaking these regulative principles, one is breaking actually dharma. And in Satyuga, all 4 legs of dharma were intact. In Treta Yuga, 1 was broken, 3 were there. Dwapara Yuga, only 2 remained. Kali Yuga, only 1 leg of dharma is remaining. If you are interested in any drama or a skit or a performance, this is also a very good concept to portray the discussion between dharma, Parikshit Maharaj and the cow. Cow represents Bhumi. So there is a song called Bhumi Gita in Bhagavatam in the 12th canto. Anyway, so if we practice principles of pure life, like the right way of eating, right way of living, as we discussed in one of the sessions, sattvic living, it's called austerity, then sacrifice, doing tapasya, yajna to please the Lord, doing satsanga with great souls. Like in Ayodhya we had a big mega satsanga, I think historic satsanga of such a massive scale, right? So then what happens? We elevate. So there is a path going towards Krishna and the path going towards down. So here you see attachment, pride, ahankara, lust, anger, greed. They are the paths to degradation. And the path towards Krishna is acceptance of Guru, study of the Veda, austerity, sense control, spiritual knowledge. You go up towards Krishna. So the human life is meant for going up, not down. Okay, just last 2 points for this session. Now, my question to all of you, is Atma is equal to God? Is Atma equal to God? No. Yes, how? Yes. Somebody said yes. Yes, how yes?
This is the part of Atma and Paramatma same.
Atma and Paramatma are same?
You can say anything.
Okay. I will say yes and no. We will see how. Is fire and the spark of fire same or different? Yes and? Yes. Sun and the ray of sun, are they same or different? Yes and no. Similarly, Jiva and Paramatma are same and yet different. Okay. So Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita 15.7 Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Mamaivamsho Jiva Loke Jiva Bhuta Sanatanaha. We are a part of Krishna. Amsha. Amsha means what? Part of Krishna. Right? I suppose I remove this. There is a part of this pen. Right? Similarly, Jiva is also a part of God. Of course, when I remove this dhakkan, it is devoid of something. But when we come from Krishna, when we are emanating from God, God doesn't lose anything. He remains complete. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam. Purnat Purnam Udachyate. So that's Vedic concept. So we are a part of God. We are same in quality of God, but in quantity we are different. We are Anu, God is Vibhu. We are not gods, but we are gods. We belong to God. I think, is it visible? So, I am a tiny Jiva, not the ultimate God, but a tiny part and parcel servant of the God. We are servant of the God. Dasanagu, Visheshanagu, Dasanagu, Visheshanagu. So that is Dasa. Dasa means servant. Leaving Lord's company, forced to be born in pain in the world filled with agony, again and again. So leaving God, we came here in the samsara chakra. Samsara means the cycle of birth and death. That's called samsara. Krishna is my Lord, the source of all existence. His form is imperishable, full of 6 opulence. He pays a visit to this world out of his own sweet will, right? Sambhavami, to please and protect his devotees and perish their will. Paritrana sadhunam, vinashaya cha dushkritam. Vinashaya cha dushkritam, paritrana sadhunam. Right? I am only Brahman, but Krishna is Parabrahman. In 10th chapter Gita it comes, Param Brahma, Param Dhama, Pavitram, Paramam Bhavan. Arjuna is telling, you are Param Brahma, but I am Brahma. I am Brahmasmi, but Krishna Parabrahma. I am Brahman, but Krishna is Parabrahman. My power is limited, his potencies are unlimited. I can make a rocket. Right? I can make a swimming pool, God creates oceans. I can fly a rocket, but God floats huge planets. That's, of course, recently America launched a satellite which came back. No? Went like this and then came back down. I can invent a dome light, but God creates moonlight. I make ordinary dolls, but the Lord made us all. I can make a doll, but I cannot put life in that. But God can make a doll, He can put life in that. There was one scientist, he claimed, God, people are worshipping you, you are supreme. I compete with you, I can also make life. And God said, make. Then the scientist started picking up mud, water, fire, and everything. God said, stop. Bring your own mud, bring your own fire, bring your own water first, then you make life. And scientist said, sorry. I can't make all that. Okay, surrender then. Right? Lord is actual doer, I am just an imitator. Like God made the birds and we imitated by making aeroplanes. We are imitators. Lord is omnipresent, omnipotent, and omniscient. God deserves everyone's love and humble service. I am tiny Jiva, cast in oceanic material world. Lord is the greatest of all. Let's accept this fact at heart. We are His tiny servants. Let's realize and serve Him with joy. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So, this is a small poem written by one of our teachers, Radhesham Das. So, what is the practical benefit of knowing this knowledge? When we know this concept of soul, this can bring the whole world together. I am also soul, okay? I am an Indian, I am soul. Americans, they are also souls. Is American soul different than Indian soul? Alright. And is dog soul different than my soul? I am same. I am soul and he is also soul. But it's in dog's body. Body is different, but soul is. This brings sadbhavana, a good feeling that we are all one. We are all children of God. That feeling this brings. Vasudhaiva. So the whole world is one family. That fraternity this brings. Now is soul black or white? The body is black. The body may be white. And there is discrimination between blacks, on blacks, by the whites. That racism is also eradicated when you understand that we are soul. Now casteism, that is also eradicated because there is nothing called as higher caste soul, lower caste soul. It's based upon our karmas that we are born in a certain family which has a particular samskaras or practices. Right? So there is nothing called as this caste soul, that caste soul. Is there any Hindu soul, Christian soul, Muslim soul, Jewish soul, this soul, that soul? No. So when you understand, that's why Sanatana Dharma goes beyond the barriers of all religions. This one concept of Atma can unite the entire world. That much powerful it is. But unfortunately, because people don't know this concept, they think I am this body and they fight with each other and create more differences. So that's one major advantage of knowing, understanding this concept of soul. And also this concept of soul in our own personal life brings confidence that I always exist. I never die. I continue to live again and again. And also this gives us a vision to be good, to be spiritual. Not just to be good, to be spiritual. Because I am spirit soul, I am Atma. And I should practice Adhyatma, spirituality, by knowing which I can progress ahead. Okay. So these are some of the benefits of understanding the concept of soul. Of course, there are many more, but I just, in interest of time, this is summary. Thank you very much. This is my session for today. Do you have any questions on this topic? We have another few minutes, I think. Any questions on this topic? It is a very important topic. Yeah, you can sit.